Young. And also, we had President Obama was reelected, Superstorm Sandy hit, an English prince was born, Lance Armstrong was stripped of all of his titles, the economy recovered, homosexuals, Jay Young, are now able to be wed. Gays, believe it or not. Whitey Bulger was found, tried, and convicted to life in prison. And Aaron Hernandez murdered like 10 people. Oh, and Neil Armstrong, Dick Clark, and Michael Clark Duncan all fucking died. This all occurred during your 13-game losing streak. What the fuck do you have to say for yourself?
I could be wrong, but I also believe my second cousin, Kim Jong-un, got elected to the North Korean presidency, all right? So I may have been a little busy helping out his campaign. I'm back, okay? I proved it this week with a win against the Sen. So, sure, both my starting running backs could be hurt this week. Fuck that. I'm all in.
There it is. We accidentally hung up a little bit early on Jay Young, but that's okay. I think we got the midst and the point of what he was trying to get across, Bob.
Yeah,
He's back. He's saying he's back.
He's saying he's back.
We'll
see. We'll see if it's true. I don't know.
So the next game was the Pig Newtons up against Brutal Deluxe. A nice big victory. First victory of the season for Coach Phil, 125-71. And actually 71 points for Brandon. That's actually the lowest points he's ever scored in his franchise history. So not good news out of Brutal Deluxe camp. And then the last game, those pesky Hong Kong Cavaliers beating Seoul Glow 120-102. Nice big win again for Hong Kong. Goes to 2-0, and that's with Deshaun Jackson on his bench, who I think had 25 points.
He did.
Bub, you a believer in Hong Kong?
I am.
You are. Okay.
I am. Yeah, I think he's got it.
Yeah, he's got a really good team. I'm on the other hand, I'm a little wary only because we've seen him do this before. Back in D8, he started off 2-0, and guess what record he ended up with?
I bet it was between 4 and 6 wins.
5 and 10.
Yeah.
The Power Rankings. Hey, hey, hey. Who's number one? Hey, hey. Who's sucking ass? The Dynasty Power Rankings.
And we're about to do a first thing here in the Dynasty Podcast, Bob.
In the world.
In the world. Bob, you're the head of the PR.
Yes.
You want to announce what's going on right now?
All right, fucking bitches, cunts, and hoes. We have 5 members of the Dynasty Power Rankings, the rankers, the 5 rankers.
Right.
On the phone and in person.
Everyone say hi at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. It worked. It's working. So we got Brandon, we got Johnny C, we got Whiff, me, and Bob. Jay Young is part of the PR, but he's not a ranker. So we're here because we're going to talk a little bit about the power rankings, bitches. So first of all, I just want to say that the whoever comes in first in the power rankings might mean complete bullshit. Because as we know, last year I was number 1, which I don't think has ever happened before, from the entire season, and that obviously didn't work out because I lost in round 1. But it's still fun to see where everyone ranks at any given time. So let's go ahead and just talk a little bit about this week's power rankings. Who came in number 1, you ask? Bob, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this team has ever came in first. Am I right?
I don't think he's ever come first at all.
In anything?
Yeah, ever.
Oh, well.
Don't tell me it was Will.
It is not Will. It is actually, we have him on the line, the Hong Kong Cavaliers. Coach Matt, congratulations. According to the consensus of the power rankings, you are the number 1 in the power rankings. Coach Matt Whiffen, are you still on the line? Okay, Matt, we got Matt back on the line. Matt, say hello.
Oh, am I on the air?
You are now. We had some technical issues. I apologize, but we just made the announcement that you actually are the number 1 ranked team in the power rankings. How does that make you feel?
This makes me feel nice. Oh, I can hear my... I think something screwed up on the phone.
Shut up.
Okay.
I think I can get through it.
Okay. power through it, Mr. Whiffen. So you actually got number 1 votes from Bub, yourself, and Brandon. Bub, tell us why you think Hong Kong is number 1.
That's a couple big weeks in a row, and I just think he's really, really, nice. And
What else?
That's it.
Okay.
What else, Bubba?
Number 2 was the Rapists. He comes in, and both me and John voted him as the number 1 team, but he comes in at number 2.
Oh,
Yes.
thanks, Cooper.
You're welcome, Johnny C. Let me go ahead and explain why I think you're the number 1 team. I think it's close, I will say that, between you and Whiffen right now. And with all due respect to Mr. Whiffen and his Hong Kong Cavaliers, who I admit has a great team this year, I just need to see a little bit more from him to give him the number 1 nod. I've seen Johnny C do it before, so I feel that even though Whiffen has a little bit more points right now, they're both sitting at 2-0. And maybe it'll happen this upcoming week. It very well could. I just need to see Whiffen give a little bit more for me to give him the number 1 nod. Don't get me wrong. I ranked him 2nd. It wasn't like I ranked him 5th.
If I can just jump in
Yes.
here, I think I would say that's well said on your part, Scooper. Something about, and again, nothing to take away from the Hong Kong Cavaliers, but it's kind of still got a bad taste in our mouths from this team, seeing what he's done with mediocre season after mediocre season after mediocre season. I need to see more than 2 weeks of superiority for me to be confident in him being the number 1 team in the league.
I agree. Coach Whiffen, anything? Are you still jerking off, or do you have anything to say while touching yourself?
Just give me 2 seconds. And I'm fine with everything you guys said.
You're not bucked?
I think it's kind of dumb, but it's a new team with new players. I scored more points than any other team in the league, but I also noticed the points against compared to me and Jonathan.
Well, the thing with that is it's not fair because John played me, so that's not fair.
Thank you, Bubba. Exactly. It's not fair that he's number 1.
Yeah, I just proved your point for you, I guess.
But I'm not number 1.
Well, right, but
in Scooper's eyes,
Matt, you're number 1.
yeah, no, but well, let's move forward. So the number 3 team is myself, the Riverdale Scoopers. Everyone pretty much voted me in the top 4, except for Brandon. And Brandon, are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, good. Now, Brandon, could you tell? You actually voted me 5th, so not too far off. But can you tell me what it is about my team that you voted me less than everyone else?
I think, Eric, it just came down to this week's performance, buddy. I mean, we only have 2 weeks to go by for this season, and obviously scraped by the Lagers this week, and that's why I voted you slightly outside the top 4.
Okay, all right. I fair enough. I will prove it to you as we move forward. Then the 4th team, the Boston Lagers. Actually, Whiffen voted Lagers 2nd, and John voted the Lagers 7th. So quite a disparity there. John, why the hatred for the Boston Lagers?
No hatred whatsoever. So maybe you should be a little bit more careful next time you make a knee-jerk comment like that. It's actually kind of funny because this morning at work, Whiffen actually IM'd me, and after we sent our rankings, and he said something to the effect of, this was a really hard week to rank because there's so many good teams minus Bubba and Brutal.
Thanks, John.
His words, not mine.
Thanks, Whiff.
Thanks, guys.
And I actually agree with him. It was kind of hard because there are a lot of good teams, and it was kind of difficult to put everyone in a specific rank because there's actually a lot of teams that are equal.
Right.
I agree.
I mean, nothing. Sorry to interrupt. Nothing against the Loggers. I just couldn't put him up really high because he didn't put a lot of points up this week, and but he could be back up to number 2 next week for all we know. So it's in that part of the season where we haven't had a lot of people break out yet.
Right. And Whiffen, you did make that comment. It was one of the hardest rankings you've ever made. Did John kind of summarize that? Good for you, or is there any other reasons why it was so hard?
No, it's definitely that.